Good evening. Ms. Ophelia Blanchard, representing the Honorable Conress Maynard, Minister of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities, Domestic Transport, ICT and Posts, Mr. Nigel Curti, Director of Digital Transformation, distinguished CEOs and industry leaders, valued partners and stakeholders, members of the media, invited guests and friends, good evening. It is an honor to welcome you all. My name is Sabina Harinarain, and I am the Operations Manager here at Digicel St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you for joining us this evening under the theme. Thank you for joining us this evening for our first business social under the theme Powering Growth, Enabling Digital Transformation. This event comes at a milestone year for us here at Digicel, 20 years of operations here in our federation, and it is truly a privilege to celebrate with you here this evening the impact our company has made regionally and right here at home. Digicel began its journey in 2001 with the intention of democratizing telecommunications across the Caribbean. Digicel St. Kitts and Nevis joined that story in 2006. From the moment we arrived, the mission was clear: to connect people in ways that were faster, simpler, and more accessible than ever before. Our intention was always to transform the markets which we entered. We broke through the monotony, challenged the status quo, and brought communication closer to everyday people and businesses. To us, powering growth means more than building infrastructure. It gives businesses the confidence to scale and creating opportunities where none existed before. This vision took a major leap with the emergence of the Digicel business brand. Our mission is to be your digital engine, enabling transformation at every level. Today, Digicel Business supports over 100 organizations regionally with fiber connectivity, ICT solutions, and digital platforms that allow business to do more than just operate, but to innovate, compete, and expand. What differentiates us is not our technology, but our people. At Digicel, we understand that while technology powers the network, people power the experience. This is why behind every solution is a team of subject matter experts, specialists who understand networks, digital infrastructure, and business transformation, and who work alongside our customers to design solutions tailored to their ambitions and challenges. Tonight is no exception. Our presenters this evening bring over 40 years of combined experience in telecommunications and technology to help you navigate this landscape. However, our expertise is only as good as the trust behind it. We understand that you don't just need a provider, you need a partner who shows up. That is why we focus on real relationships over simple service delivery. That focus is what drives transformation we see every day across our federation. From small businesses moving online to organizations embracing smarter ways of working. As we look ahead, our focus remains constant. We will continue investing in next generation infrastructure and building solutions that keep customers and communities at the center of everything that we do. The last 20 years was about connecting the Caribbean. The next 20 will be about empowering it. So tonight, we celebrate how far we've come and we look forward with confidence to the future that we're building together. We hope that you find this session both insightful and enjoyable. Thank you to our customers, our partners, and our dedicated teams who make this journey possible every day. Here's to powering growth, enabling transformation, and creating real connections for many years to come. I'll now hand over to the head of business for the Northwest Indies, L. Patricia Richards.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. My name is L. Patricia Richards, and I serve as the head of Digicel Business Solutions for the Northwest Indies region, including St. Kitts and Nevis. This evening, my role is to demonstrate to you and to bring greater awareness of the evolution of the Digicel business advantage. Digicel is a leading provider, not only in mobile and ICT, but in several other areas. Can I just take a pause, please? Thank you. Digicel business has evolved over the past 25 years. We started in 2001, and then we moved to acquiring data, where we would have expanded in starting with the data in 2011. From 2011, we went into acquiring the Subsea and the Caribbean network in 2013, where we would have initiated the Caribbean Regional Communication Infrastructure Program. This shows that Digicel has evolved from more than just a telecoms communication provider, but also a full-fledged service provider. One of the things that we have prided ourselves during this transition period is the fact that Digicel is a one-stop shop for all of your ICT needs. Digicel offers services and products within several categories. We're starting from network connectivity, which we're all familiar with, and then we go on to mobile, which we're all familiar with. However, we do also offer unified communications, wholesale capacity sales, IoT solutions, managed services, and subsea connectivity. This evening, we are here to bring greater awareness to our newest acquisition, and that is a partnership with our SIMTAI partners, which came about in 2025. All right? And this area in the blue here, these are some of the specialized services that SIMTAI offers, and you will hear more about that from our featured speaker this evening. Another little-known company from Digicel business is our creative media marketing services. We do own a company that is called Transmedia, and Transmedia provide all of the marketing services a company needs. What we do with our partner companies, we integrate and augment their staff to give support, especially to those SME companies who may not have a fully onboarded ICT department or ICT team or marketing department or marketing team, and we provide that service for them. We manage certain services also, so we give your staff the opportunity to focus on several other critical policies internally. Digicel business offers an army of solution architects across several companies. As I indicated earlier, everyone is familiar with the mobile and ICT solutions. In 2025, Digicel became 100% owner of SIMTAI. SIMTAI is the consulting cybersecurity company, which again you'll hear more about later. We also offer international business and wholesale, which is a global telecommunication that provides seamless international connectivity. One of the things we pride ourselves in Digicel in regards to corporate mobile is our roaming packages and our roaming charges, which are competitive. We are the best in the market. And that is because we have been able to work with our global partners in this area. Another little known company for Digicel business is our Deep Blue company. And our Deep Blue company, while it is not operational in the St. Kitts region because we don't have oil and gases here and all of that, that is a solution or service that we offer to the southeastern and the other Caribbean countries. Trend Media is our full service marketing company. Right? Digicel, as Sabina would have indicated earlier, operates across 25 Caribbean countries. So we have products and services in each market that you can think of, each market that you can operate in. Some of us here are regional companies that are operating across several markets, and Digicel would be operating in those markets also. We are supported by our vertical team structure, who ensures that the services you get in one market is seamless and transitionary across all markets. Right? We are supported by our engineers, all of our engineers. We have over 40 plus certified engineers, and we have over 70 plus certifications. For example, our cybersecurity employees and staff members, they are certified, and they are certified at the highest level. One thing I can indicate to you is that Simtai is one of the leading cybersecurity service providers across the Caribbean, and there are certain certifications we are only offered in the Caribbean through Simtai. You'll hear more about that later. As a result of our strong partnership globally and internationally and regionally, we have been able to win several awards over time, right? And these are with our global partners. In 2019, we were the Digital Transformation Partner of the Year. In 2019, again, we were the Fabric Partner of the Year. And in 2023, we were the Partner of the Year with Cisco. So Digicel is not just a local ICT mobile company. We are a transformative company, and we partner with some of the leading global brands that are easily recognizable across the world, right? These would include FedEx, Sagico, HSBS, DHL. We serve those companies, and we serve those companies in several markets, several jurisdictions. This alone tells you the trust that our leading companies have in the Digicel business brand, right? We are one of the companies who can say our presence within your market locally has an army behind us regionally. So all solutions that you can think to improve your business operation, your operational efficiencies, whether it is AML, cybersecurity, whether it's local connectivity, managed Wi-Fi, anything of that nature, Digicel should be at the top of your minds in that regard. During the last few years, we have all heard the buzzword of digital transformation. And we know that a lot of companies are mindful to move forward in terms of digital transformation. While we know there is an appetite for that, we also know that some companies are at this time unable to implement their own digital transformation strategies. And this is where Digicel comes in. Digicel partners with you to ensure that you have the right policy, you can select the solution that is available to you, and we assist your internal team in regards to your digital transformation pathway. Currently, across the Caribbean region, only about 60% of companies are mindful of moving forward in digital transformation. Of that 60%, there's a large percentage that has delayed. So what we're talking about is companies that have the strategy but have not yet implemented the strategy, right? And you can see from our little chart here the growth in 2 years. So in 2022, about 61% had a strategy. But of that 61%, 22% did not implement it. Now there has been a growth in 2 years. We may now see 77% have a strategy, but the same 22% has not implemented it, which tells us that there has been a slowdown or a decline in the onboarding of digital transformation strategies, right? Now, one of the questions, I am new to Digicel, to be honest. I am very, very new, newly minted. And in engaging with customers, I always hear, why should we choose Digicel? I can just allow my team to go and buy any solution and just implement it myself. That's good, but it's also bad. And this is where Digicel wants to strengthen and bolster your network ecosystem, your ICT ecosystem. As a small company, you may decide to buy a solution and implement it yourself. What you don't see, and you get it at a very good cost, And you say, oh, well, it's cheaper than Digicel. One of the things we keep hearing is Digicel is expensive. But we do not engage our customers on price. We engage our customers on value. We engage our customers on benefit. We engage our customers on partnership. And we are not interested in a transactional relationship with companies. We are interested in a partnership arrangement where we can assist those companies to grow and get the best value for the money that they spend. And one of the challenges with DIA is the fact that you have a lot of hidden costs thereafter. So imagine you have a solar panel, and you purchase a solar panel and you get a plumber and an electrician to put in that solar panel. Then who's going to manage that solar panel for you? Who's going to maintain it? That's the similar situation with ICT services and products. You buy a solution off the shelf, you implement it, it works well, nothing wrong with how it works, but in terms of managing it, in terms of making sure it's secure, in terms of integration, in terms of configuration, all of those things. And that is why Digicel gives you one managed service where you can control your costs. So from conception, we speak with your team, we engage your team, and we make sure we understand your requirements from conception to installation, go right down to end of life. And there are certain services that use equipment that have end of life. Who is going to replace those for you if you go and buy it off the shelf? With Digicel, we monitor these things, and when your equipment is coming to end of life, we will say, hi, it is time to upgrade, and this is why you upgrade, and we would manage that for you. All of that cost is built in upfront, so you know where your cost is. You don't have to find anything else thereafter, right? This is how Digicel Solutions supports your entire operations, from connectivity, whether it is internet connectivity, or go all the way down to securing your ecosystem, securing your infrastructure. We have our services that touch every single point of your business. I think I went a little too quickly, because now I have to turn over the rest of the presentation to our head of technology, Mr. Justin Cipriani, and he is going to go into how our infrastructure supports your operation. Thank you.
Thank Lavina. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Justin Cipriani, your head of technology for Anguilla, St. Kitts, Nevis. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been based in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I came here with the goal of building a network that's reliable, fast, and gap-free. I like working from first principles. So I like to clean out your network, flush out errors, and build a network. And to achieve this, we have invested over $1 million US in St. Kitts and Nevis. We didn't just patch things up. We built from the heart of the network, and we moved outwards from mobile and on our fixed line. We worked in conjunction with our regional teams as part of a full architectural overhaul. Here's what it means. From our core, we bulletproof our core. We upgraded our central equipment to a carrier-grade backbone. We've added next-gen power backups, fire safety, and redundancy. So if one part fails, the network has a fallback part to keep you connected. While focused on the local core, we worked with our regional centers to ensure the upstream is protected and the capacity demands are met for the island. On the mobile side, we completed a full health check. We would have audited all our sites, looked at everything that took place to squeeze out better performance. Our teams were fully trained and underwent extensive training and adopted new tools to ensure the best data captures and enabled proactive solutions. For the few remaining gaps we have, we've deployed some solutions they already reached in the country, and they'll be live within the next 90 days. So we expect Signal for Everyone, stronger service. For fiber, you would have noticed that in Nevis, we already have fiber being extended across into the capital. So we're replacing our old copper lines with 100% fiber throughout the whole island. It isn't about just faster downloads, it's about getting to the gold standard of the internet. It's about offering gigabit speeds both up and down while ensuring a more reliable connection. And this will be completed this year. Finally, we have synchronized our local engineers with our regional architects to tailor solutions and support. This means businesses can expect 24/7 monitoring, 99.9% uptime that a global enterprise expects. We aren't just building a network for today, we're building the infrastructure the nation needs for the future. I'd now like to hand you over to Jensen, our Head of Customer Experience, to speak on how we are supporting you. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin, and good evening to everyone. My name is Jensen Phillip, and I serve as the Head of Customer Experience for Digicel Northern OECS. As we celebrate 20 years of connectivity, our vision is evolving, as you heard from Sabina and the other presenters, and you will learn even more from our keynote speaker. We aim to do more than just be your service provider. We are stepping fully into the role of being your trusted advisor and partner, delivering total solutions tailored specifically to your needs. More importantly, we want your voice to be the architect of our future. Your feedback will directly guide our decisions, ensuring you receive world-class support both by our technology and our customer service teams. To that end, in the next upcoming months, we will be reaching out to each one of you to get feedback on what we do and how we do that. My commitment to this mission and this federation is very personal, making St. Kitts my second home so that I'm on the ground to ensure that we are consistently improving and providing the services that you need. As we look forward to I want to thank you, for your loyalty over the last 20 years. As we look forward to the next 20 years, our focus is going to remain where it should be on each one of you, our valued partners. With this, I've also been given the opportunity to introduce our key speaker for this evening, Mr. Marlon Cooper, the CEO of Simtai Consulting Limited. Now, Simtai itself is one of the Caribbean leading IT consultancies covering and specializing in cybersecurity, digital transformation, data privacy, and AML compliance. He comes with strategic insights which are results-driven, an approach that expands Simtai's regional presence and influence across our nations. Marlon is a frequent speaker on topics such as cybersecurity, digital transformation, and compliance, and has addressed regional audiences across. Throughout his work and throughout his leadership, Marlon continues to shape the regional digital transformation and resilience agenda. With no further ado, I invite Marlon to join us here to speak to us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Observing all protocols. Thank you for your presence this evening. Thank you for coming to celebrate with Digicel Business. I'm seeing some lovely looking ladies, and the gentlemen are not very far behind. Congratulations to all of you. So, as previously mentioned, I am Marlon Cooper. I am the CEO of Simtai Consulting. We are the most recent acquisition of Digicel Business, right? Digicel completed its acquisition of Simtai in March of 2025. So we've been with Digicel about a year, and we've been slowly integrating. Now, the reason why Digicel bought this company is because we wanted to introduce the services that we provide, which are pure consultancy services around transformation, whether it's digital or AI. We'll talk a little bit about that. Around protection, everything to do with cybersecurity and protection of your digital assets, and around compliance, whether that's AML compliance, whether that's PCI compliance, whether that's data privacy compliance, whether that's ISO, whatever type of compliance. That's what we've been working with companies in the Caribbean on since we've been in business. I just want to share a few industry insights with you, some of the challenges that you are facing. Now, I am not going to pretend to be an expert. You know the challenges that you are facing more than I do, but I'm just going to share a few. There's obviously an ever-evolving landscape. If you're not talking about AI in your organization, then I don't know what's happening. And the AI is moving faster than you're talking about it. Security breaches are on the rise. Why? Because everybody's going digital. You're expanding your digital footprint. And as a result of that, one of my colleagues is here who heads my cybersecurity unit. That's Rory over there, the sharper looking gentleman than me. And he will tell you that you've expanded your attack surface. So for a hacker like him, he's an ethical hacker though. For a hacker like him, he just has more fun. There's just so many more different ways that he can try to break into your networks, right? And of course, IT talent and cost challenges. We face that at Simtai ourselves. Rory has had to build a program where we go to the universities in Jamaica where we're based, and we sponsor programs, we sponsor hackathons, we find talent, we bring them into our organization, we train them up, certify them, put them on a path. If they don't get certified, they're going to get off-boarded. But after 3 years, these guys start to leave. They go to Meta, they go to Amazon, they go to Splunk, they go to Google. So we understand that it's very difficult to retain talent in the region, right? So we've built that program specifically so that we can keep the talent. And I've been hanging on to Rory for years now. And of course, I won't even bother to mention the geopolitical landscape, because going on in St. Kitts right now is a summit with the protagonists as well as us Caribbean people, right? Trying to deal with some of the critical issues which are now emerging out of that are issues like data sovereignty. Because North America can reach, or US can reach into so many jurisdictions, clients are concerned, when we put our data in the cloud, are we going to be able to keep it secure? One of the things that wasn't mentioned, well, it wouldn't have been mentioned. I'm coming from across St. Lucia. I was there for a couple of days. Digicel has 8 Tier 3 data centers across the Caribbean. One is in Curacao, which is a GDPR or UK jurisdiction. We're actually about to build one in St. Lucia, which is going to be the closest one to you. And we're going to be coming to the market in a few months with some cloud solutions, some backup solutions that are going to give you some really good options around public-private hybrid. That's going to give you some more control and some more data sovereignty as well, right? So geopolitics right now in today's world are a little bit dicey, and data sovereignty has become critically important. So those are some of the challenges. Why do we want Digicel to be a strategic partner? We want to build a relationship on trust, right? You've been with us in St. Kitts for 22 years? 20? 20 years. My God, I have children older than that. You've been with us for a minute, right? We're happy to have you. We want to build trust. We want to expand our strategic relationship with you. And most importantly today, I want to tell you why they acquired Simtai Consulting and how that helps your business agenda. So it's one partner that we want to journey with you. We know we can't be your only partner. We know that if you have us as your primary, you need to have the other people, don't call their name, as your secondary. Or maybe you have them as your primary and you have us as your secondary, right? We're also going to be bringing to the market very soon business satellite services. Why is that important? Well, Rory and I, as I said, we come from Jamaica. And you guys know that in October of last year, we had a category 5.5 hurricane. all our services could have been delivered. The gas stations had fuel, there was battery backup, our phones were charged because we just went to the car, we had no electricity, but we could have done business if we were able to communicate. You know what we didn't have? Connectivity. The two networks were down. So we have 14 parishes in Jamaica. Rory and I live he lives 3 hours from where his family grew up, and I live 4 hours. When we drove for about an hour after that drive, the rest of the drive, complete blackout. And so that's one of the reasons why we're looking at bringing satellite, business satellite, into the region as well. So in addition, if the networks go down, then we might have another opportunity for redundancy, because we can still do business without electricity. Because we just need to be connected, and that's what was missing, and that's very, very important. So you'll be hearing more about that, right? We're going to be doing Neo, Geo, Leo, and it's going to be secure, and it's going to be very interesting packages. So just keep your ears and eyes tuned for that, all right? So, yes, I'm going backwards. So Simtai Consulting. I know some aspects of the presentation is small. We're trying to optimize it for your purposes, but I'll talk you through it. We do 3 things. We help companies transform to deliver value. And transformation for us can be in the space of AI or digital transformation. And why do people transform? You want to exploit market opportunities. You want to exceed your productivity goals. One of the biggest challenges in the Caribbean is productivity. Our GDP is not growing as fast as we'd like it to grow because we need to be more productive. Imagine if we could get 40% more productive. How? That's why we love digital transformation, cloud, AI, and also leveraging opportunities that exist there, right? So we help companies transform. You transform, you expand your digital footprint. We help you to protect your digital assets and data. That's a team that Rory leads. He has a team of about 15 people that do pen tests. His team does more pen tests than any other company in the English Caribbean. For every level, every sector of industry, governments, banks, regulators of banks, all the way across down to SMEs. Right? Because we want to ensure that you have a safety net over your digital assets and data. And we want you to prepare you for the inevitable, what did I say? The inevitable cyber attack. Okay? Very, very important. I'm going to bring up a slide, a couple slides down. You probably won't see, but there's a small company there called Niche Financing, which was subject to a data breach there in Jamaica. I had no idea where Niche Financial was in Jamaica. I drove past them every day. This little building, right? I didn't know who they were. And then I found out that they got a data breach, and then I saw them one day. And it just reminded me that the hackers do not know the size or scale of your business. All they see is a target that they can exploit, and then they'll turn up at your door and say, I want $50 million. And you say, you're crazy, I only make $500,000. And they go, all right, give me $50,000. And that's what's going to happen. So your size doesn't matter. As long as you're operating digitally and you are exposed, you are a target. And I want you to understand that similar to I have a company and I have 15 guys who are doing, or I'm leading a company with 15 guys who are doing cybersecurity and are hacking ethically into your systems to tell you what's wrong so you can fix it. The guys who are trying to take over your network and run ransomware, they have companies, CEOs, CFOs, hacking teams. It's not just some random individuals. This is really, really big business that's taking place. I want you to understand that. And the third thing that we do is to help you to comply with regulations, standards, best practices. I can tell you from a regulatory perspective, in Jamaica, the central bank started off by only regulating commercial banks, merchant banks. They are now regulating credit unions, microfinance organizations. A lawyer now has to screen any customer they're going to onboard. again, sanctions list to see if there is a money laundering threat, a terrorist threat, or some other financial crime threat like human trafficking. I know here that the ECCB regulates just the deposit-taking institutions. I can guarantee you that within the next 5 years, if you're in a credit union or a microfinance company, they're going to start regulating you. It's just coming across the Caribbean, right? So any area of transformation, cloud, digital, any area of protection, any area of compliance, we do that. And you won't be able to see this very well, but I have a follow-up slide for it that talks about our expertise and capabilities. But the important thing is that we work with you to solve any challenge that you have in any of those areas. That's what Simtai Consulting does. So Digicel thought, since you're buying all this connectivity, all this bandwidth, you're connecting regionally across islands. Why are you doing this? We want to have a strategic conversation with you. What are your strategic goals? And how can we help you to accelerate those goals? If you're number 2 in the market, how can we help you to become number 1? If there's an incumbent that you want to disrupt, how can we help you to disrupt them? Governments across the Caribbean are phenomenally focused on digital transformation because of the experience that we have with COVID. I happen to be, my youngest is 16 years old. My youngest is 16 years old, so she's doing CSEC. I did CXC, so I don't know what them things are in them, but she's doing that this year. It just so happened coincidentally that she did grade 5 and grade 6 when she was doing PEP, we call it in Jamaica, to go to high school. She did that in COVID. So when COVID came, she was in grade 5, so she was home for grade 5 and grade 6. She's in high school, she's in 5th form now. Last year, Hurricane Melissa came. Home again. So the disruption that has taken place, governments want to improve service to citizens. They want to be able to provide those services digitally. If you've ever heard about a country called Estonia, 99% of all government services are provided digitally. As a matter of fact, if the country physically disappeared tomorrow, all of their government systems are in the cloud. So they could be living all over the world and be voting for government, collecting taxes, running Estonian services without having physical land to live on. That's one of the most digital advanced countries in the world, right? And because of the experience that we had, one of the things that we learned during COVID is that our region fell so far behind economically, because it's kind of like what happened when I described what happened in Jamaica the other day. We just couldn't do business, right? Our kids couldn't learn, and we're not going to see some of the outcomes of this until 30 years down the road, because the kids who were in primary school who were learning to read and write during COVID and got disrupted, you're not going to see that for 30 years. So it's very, very important, and that's why I'm a big fan of technology and of transformation. Even though I have concerns about AI and security, I'm still a big fan, because we live in a region where we're able to see other countries in the world, and we're able to see whether or not how they use technology, what works and what doesn't work. So we don't have to make the same mistakes that they make. We can learn from them, and then we can accelerate. Very, very important. And of course, Digicel is in 5 verticals. You can't see that. That's what that says. 5 verticals. We support all 5 verticals: finance, hospitality, government, the oil and gas belt, and the conglomerates as well, right? So I told you that we need to be really qualified. If you ever get an email from Rory, you'll see all of those certifications behind his name. Half of the page is taken up with certification. We have to go through a process of ensuring that whatever services we're providing to you, we are certified and qualified to provide those services. We also work with our clients and help them to develop their teams. So if you have a cybersecurity team that you want to develop, Rory has a program that he'll happily share with you to develop your teams so that you can upskill them, right? We're all a part of the same region. We're not, we need to help each other, right? So let me talk about what Digicel Business does. So you know Digicel primarily for that. Mobile, PBX, DIA, I'm not talking about anything that's on the consumer side. So I'm not talking about fiber to home and phones. I'm talking about corporate, right? Corporate mobile. That's what you know Digicel for. We want to introduce you to the professional services side of Digicel business. All right? We're a 100% owned company, but we run our own brand. So you see our logo there to the right. We run our own brand. We're partially integrated for security, for efficiency and cost saving purposes, but for security and compliance purposes, we are not integrated. So that means that we are able to do work with you, identify what's happening from your strategic plans or any vulnerabilities that you have, and that information only stays with us. Whereas your account manager might send you a proposal or something like that, but they won't be interacting with any kind of reports that we do with you. It's very, very important. Digital transformation, let's talk about that. Which of you in your organization is on a transformation journey? Okay, all right, it's that kind of crowd we're afraid to put up on a hand. All right, it's okay. I'm going to catch you. I know what to catch you. Don't worry yourself. You can't read that. What it's saying is that organizations want to execute a digital strategy. They want to leverage cloud for efficiency and AI for productivity, but they don't know how to do it. The same stat that El Patricia read about companies having transformation strategies, but not knowing how to execute it. Here's the key thing about digital transformation. Everybody who's in an organization believes that there is a way to get digital value. So if you're running a credit union, you start thinking, maybe if I offer digital onboarding, I could get customers in faster. If you're in a bank, you're going, well, if a mortgage takes 90 days, maybe if I get it down to 3 days. Can you imagine that? A mortgage in St. Kitts in 3 days? Maybe if I get it down to 3 days, I can get a competitive edge. I can create value. I can get money faster into my books. So everywhere, everybody is trying to figure out, is there a way to extract value digitally, right? Can I process improve, and then can I add technology, digital technologies to accelerate? In executing a digital transformation strategy, the starting point then is to validate that value expectation. Can I really take a mortgage from 90 days to 3 days? Right? So you're going to have to run some kind of test to validate this. And if I do that, you've already done some calculations that I can, at my current mortgage growth rate, I can accelerate revenues, right? And if I can digitize it, maybe I can also lower cost. And I get the third winner from a transformation perspective, I'll definitely become more efficient. Because those are the three layers in transformation where you get value from: efficiency, cost reduction, and revenue, faster revenue, right? So I want to validate the expectation. But in order to do that, I need to create a strategy. I now have to go to the CEO and the board and convince them to give me some money to spend to validate that I can create this value, right? So I have to resource a strategy. And then, because this is probably disruptive, and most of you leave this out, I have to provide support for people and change, because systems fail, transformation or implementations don't fail because of technology. They fail because of people. 70% of all projects fail, and it's because of people. And if you didn't know this, change happens one person at a time in any organization. So if you have 200 employees, change happens one person at a time, right? So we want to get digital alignment because these people sit in all different areas of the business, and we want to be able to build a foundation, because we're coming from business as usual and we're trying to get to digital. When you've executed a lighthouse project, so using our same analogy, let's say you have 100,000 customers, right? Mortgage customers, and you want to test, can I get mortgages down from 30 days to 3 days? Maybe you'll take 5,000 other customers, 5%, and you get the technologies that you need from the business, and you go into a project to validate that I can in fact convert this process from 30 days to 3 days, right? That's what we mean when we say a lighthouse project, because you can't transform the entire thing. You have to start small, prove that there's value there, and then once you've proven it, then you can go all guns blazing, and you can accelerate the transformation. So we help you to do these transformation assessments. We help you to execute lighthouse projects. Digicel actually sells technology if you're interested. We sell NVIDIA boxes that you can run your AI pilots on. Has all the GPU, has all of the storage and the computation speed that you need, right? Once you've extracted that value, you're now ready to mature and innovate. You're now ready to go from the 5% to 100%. And at the end of that journey, you have transformed your organization from one that did a process this way to one that did a process another way. Now, along the path, when you did the pilot, you only focused on trying to make sure that the technology worked and to validate this. But now when you're going full steam, you have to integrate accounting, you have to integrate sales, your support people. So there's a lot of work to be done. But now your digital transformation footprint or foundation is so much better. You're ready to accelerate and grow. And we're here to help you along the path of this transformation. From readiness to execution of your lighthouse project, to helping you manage change and to execute your transformation projects that takes years. CARSIP was on one of the slides earlier. CARSIP is a 15-year investment between Digicel and 4 countries, Grenada, Dominica, etc., where we put technology into government systems. We connect all the schools, all government buildings, so that they can now bring digital learning, digital medical services, digital revenue services. So in Jamaica, you can, I was very impressed. I'm going to start saying now, in St. Kitts, you can pull down an app and you can do your registration to come into the country. And in real time, you see your submission, because I did it on the app, and you see your processing and you see your approval. And I happened to come across today and I was sat by the exit seat, so I was off the plane first. I walked inside immigration. Lady took out her cell phone and scanned my thing and said, you can go downstairs. It's faster than Jamaica. I reached downstairs. I was in the bathroom. I had a meeting, so I was in the bathroom fixing up myself, traveled in my suit and everything, waiting for my bag to come out. By the time my bag came out, and I walk up to the other lady, scanned me, I was outside. They had arranged some VIP pickup for me by plane side. I was moving too fast. I missed it. I had an excellent experience coming to this country today. So congratulate yourselves. Very well done. That is why I love transformation. I'm gonna like giant line. Wait a minute. You understand what I said a while ago? You understand, Pato? Okay. I don't like joining lines. Okay. Let's talk about AI, and I'm going to go a little bit faster. AI, and this is an image, so you might not see it very well. Same thing, AI adoption. AI, for us at Digicel, is not technology. AI is capability. In most organizations, that's where the problem is, because they then say it's AI, IT. You have that ball and play with it. AI is not technology. AI is capability. It's co-intelligence. So I work with Claude. Right? Claude is not a tool I use. I work with Claude. I go in Claude and say, Claude, I want to deploy a cloud strategy across the Caribbean. I'm a part of Digicel business. I'm in 25 markets. Those are my competitors. Give me a go-to-market strategy that allows me to dominate. I also want to win an award in a year's time. And it does 60% of the work for me in 5 minutes. That's capability. So when I talked about productivity earlier, that's what I meant. Imagine that we had the type of capability that I experience coming through immigration today in every government service? She's laughing. Imagine, but you're on the way. Imagine that. Yeah? That's what I mean about productivity. Things get done faster. More transaction takes place. More business takes place. One person can do 5 times what they used to do because they are working with co-intelligence. GDP must grow. And then what I love about living on this side of the world, I don't live in Canada in a cool weather. That we live in this beautiful world of remote work, etc. I would love to have an experience in the Caribbean where I'm on the beach, I'm connected, I'm working, I'm making good money because country's doing well and GDP up, so my thing up as well. Yeah? That's what I want to be doing. And if this region becomes that, then all the people them who are over in Snowstorm, my next daughter, sorry, I have a whole handful of them. My next daughter, 18 years old, she went off to New York to celebrate boyfriend birthday. Right? Last week is Ash Wednesday, so we have holidays, right? Don't tell her some talk our business. She gets stuck in New York in snowstorm. She's supposed to come back from Sunday night to go to school on Monday. She'll be back on Friday. You want to be in snowstorm? I want to be on the beach. I want to be here in this part of the world. Let me tell you something. Rory could work for any company in the world. Make upwards of 500,000 US dollars. Telling you. Because we have people who have left us and gone to the big companies. Yeah? But the quality of life, the experience, the way of working, that's why I want to transform our region, because we already live in paradise. So if we can make it more efficient, make it safer, build digital capabilities and skills, where are we going to go except to visit and tour the world? Yeah? So AI, it's not technology, it's capability. It's co-intelligence. That's how we view it. I know there are risks associated with it, but there's also value. Those of you who have some gray in your beard and you used to watch cowboy movies before you had all of this cable. We used to watch cable, before you had Netflix and Amazon. You don't watch cable no more, right? There's gold in them there hills, is what the people used to say in the Western. There's gold there. There's opportunity there, right? Most companies do not have an AI strategy. That's what it says. You probably can't read it. They don't have an AI strategy. They don't have an AI policy. So here's what we tell them to do. Let us help you to build guardrails. You know why? There's a thing called shadow AI. Let me tell you what shadow AI is. You work inside of your company. The company has no policy on AI, no strategy on AI. You work in HR and they tell you, hey, you need to go through 100 applications and identify the top 10 applicants so that we can fill a position in 2 weeks' time. What do you think this person does? They throw it in ChatGPT. They throw it in Copilot. There's no policy in the company for it. They're not intending to put the company's information out there. Let me make it more scary than that. You want to build a loan product and you take the customer portfolio and throw it into OpenAI, Gemini. Where's that data? Who has it? So that's what's happening in organizations, because I'm sure you're all using AI. And I'm sure that some of you don't put up your hand for this one. You see me catching on now. Don't put up your hand for this one. Do not put up your hand for this one. I'm sure that some of you work in organizations that do not have an AI policy, but you use AI for work. Do not put up your hand. That's what shadow AI is. All of the company data going through the door because we haven't created policies or strategies. So we say, let's create guardrails. So if you invite me to a meeting, you'll see fireflies turn up. Right? Because fireflies takes my notes and creates my actions so I can be more efficient. And then when Firefly is finished, it puts all the actions into Asana. And then Asana has a timeline on each thing. And if I don't do it on time, it gets escalated. Right? How did I get Fireflies into my organization? Rory had to do security review to find out where all the data is. And I have a steward. He's bigger than Rory. He's on the compliance side. He did the data privacy to see where all the data went. They go in and configure the systems so that they are safe to use, and then we get to use them. This was before we had a policy. Guardrails. Then what did we start to do? We built sandboxes. So people want to run these same experiments, the same 100,000 customers. What do? We take the data, synthesize it, create synthetic data. So we take your name out of it. All we want to know is whether you're male, female, how much you make. We don't need to know your name, how old you are, but we don't need your date of birth. So we change all of that out and synthesize the data, or we anonymize the data. And then we use it in the tools. So even if we missed something in our guardrails and it goes out there, it's not your name, it's just generic information. And that's how we were able to bring AI into our organization to help us to be more productive. And then we worked on our policy and our strategy and put in AI ethics committee. I sit on the AI strategic committee for Digicel. Put AI. Those of you on the mobile side, do you use Ruby? The My Digicel app? When you call Digicel for your mobile support, not corporate, your regular mobile support today, 80% of those calls are handled by AI today. And then the other 20% are handled by humans. Because we were getting thousands and thousands of calls. And 80% of them were repetitive, easy to solve. And the AI don't sleep. So when you wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, you can talk to the AI. We'll probably have an agent there afterwards still, but that's the idea, right? So we help you to start with guardrails if you don't have policy or strategy. So you can get going and you can leverage AI as capability for productivity and efficiency. If you're using Microsoft 365, Digicel sells you those licenses. You know it comes with Copilot. If you're using Teams, we will work with you to help you build agents to automate the repetitive things that you're doing in your organization so people can become more productive. The same number of people processing more, faster, consistently, within specific timelines. All right? That's the consultant capability that we bring to Digicel business, right? And once you've done your guardrails and your strategy, then there's a governance framework that operates. So next time somebody wants to do a project, it has to go to the AI committee, and the ethics committee have to review it. And if it's making a decision about a human being, we have to know if it's transparent or fair or if it's biased. That's a mature organization. So today, all AI projects flow up to our ethics committee, flow up to our committee to assess and determine whether or not we should proceed with it. How long is the pilot going to be? Is there a business case for it? What is the value that we perceive is going to come from this? When the pilot is finished, mustn't last longer than 8 weeks. Did we get the value? Yes? Expand across the organization. So that's transformation. I talk about AI, I talk about digital transformation generally. Protection, that's Rory's domain. If he was up here, he'd be scaring the hell out of all of you. If you're talking to him, don't let him see you putting your password in your phone. If you talk to him too long, he'll take your phone and unlock it for you. Because humans are the weakest link in cybersecurity. You have habits. See? I'm boring some of you, so you start to go on your phone. I'm not boring you. Just checking to see if your daughter reach home, if she do her homework already, and if the rice and peas finished cook. I understand. Habits. So if I stand up long enough and watch you, I can watch you unlock your phone. Which Wi-Fi you on? The free one? I'm from Jamaica. I'm on a Digicel roaming plan. Even in the hotel. That's hosting all the fancy people them. protection, provide a safety net over your digital assets and data, help you prepare for, and if you're doing all this transformation, you need protection. You're expanding your attack surface, you're expanding what they can do. We do everything, starting with security awareness training, make sure everybody we have digital security awareness training in our company. If you don't complete it, if I don't complete it by the end of March, and I've been on the road for like three weeks now, I'm going to be locked out of the company assets. I'm here the CEO, you know. They're going to lock me out. If I do the training and my score is too low, they're going to send me additional training to do. But here's how we build a culture. Every month at staff meeting, we gamify it. And the people, we have a leaderboard, the people are on top, Amazon gift card, people at the bottom, we shame them, we shame them, we shame them. You don't feel sorry for them. We set departments against each other. You know why we do that? Because if 4 of these guys are in one department and he's causing them to be at the bottom, you know what's going to happen? Those 3 build a culture of compliance. But it's fun. But we're strict about it. What's the worst thing that could happen to us as a cybersecurity company? We get hacked. And then we turn up and say we want to do cybersecurity work for you. You can hire us? No. You're very kind. You're never shaking your head. I don't think you're going to hire us. So from there to pen tests, managed services, leveraging AI in how we work, we protect all of your assets. This is a very interesting statistic. Rory told me this today. The global impact of a data breach was $4.8 million. It was growing year on year on year. Rory told me today that it has come down to $4.4 million because of the use of AI to help with cyber defense. First time it's come down instead of gone up. So I had to change it on the slide. Every other slide we have in the company still says $4.8 million. Imagine you have a digital transformation strategy where you are number 2 in your market and you're planning on how you're going to get to number 1. You run your pile and you're ready. And then you get a cyber attack. It takes on average 292 days for you to recover from a cyber attack. That's 1 year where you were planning to leap ahead. You're inside trying to fix systems, trying to explain to customers, trying to manage trust when your competitor is leaping ahead of you. Yeah? And this is what I was saying before about people and habits. 74% of all cyber attacks come from people. Why? Because people like to click on stuff. You did not enter that lottery. How did you win the prize? Your cousin is from Africa and is a prince that owns gold. Right? Those are the worst case ones, I'm telling you. It's much more sophisticated now because AI is doing it. Right? I read something today that said Claude was used to hack some database in Mexico. Google it, Rory. I saw that today. It's very, very cool. It's not very cool, sorry. I like Claude, but not very cool. But 74% of all breaches are because we click on stuff. Links, text message, email, wherever. We click on it because, again, we're human and human nature. We give trust where we should guard. We don't pay attention. All those type of things, right? I want you to remember that $4.4 million. I have a test for you. Are you going to put up your hand this time? These are some recent data breaches. Remember I mentioned niche? Poor looking niche. Where are they? Poor looking niche up there. A data breach is whenever is any security incident where data is accessed by unauthorized people. That means you can have a data breach in your company. If somebody who is not supposed to access data accesses it. But the more significant one is when data is exfiltrated, when it gets taken out of the organization and now the hacker has it, the ransomware guy has it. That's the most significant thing, right? So, and then what they do, they go to the dark web, which is a marketplace that people like to play. Now, this is the largest data breach that has happened in the Caribbean. It was a company called Biomedical in Jamaica. Biomedical does your labs, your HIV status system, all of your cytology reports, all that kind of stuff. When this is on the dark web, you know what happens now? Somebody has cancer, and somebody calls you and say, hey, I see you, I'm calling you from so and so and so. I see that your date of birth is, so I saw that your screening was done on so and so, and you have, guess what? We have a breakthrough product. It's in trial. We only have a few seats. 5,000? You want to get in? 10,000? 15? 20? That's what happens. As organizations, we expose, we have data from individuals, from kitishans and nevishans. And we have it for the purpose of giving them banking services or whatever. And if we do not protect it and it gets exposed, we expose them. Very, very important. So here's the test. I told you what the global average cost of a data breach was. You remember that, right? 4.4 million. I give you the answer. Okay? This is not going to be like C-second. It's going to be more like common entrance. Who old enough to do common entrance? Common entrance was before PEP. That's how I got into high school. We did math, English, and mental ability. All right. What do you think the local cost of a data breach is, percentage-wise? You know that the global cost is 4.4. Do you think what percentage of 4.4 million do you think the cost of a local breach is? Put up your hand. How much? 20%. I got 20 over here, 20 over here, 25, 25, 25, 30, 35. Anybody else? How much? Same 100%. Anybody else? One more. Here are two data breaches that occurred in the region. This is a company in Jamaica. Every time I say Jamaica, I'm shaking my head. I'm going to find another one for you. This was a phishing attack. A malicious email was sent. You remember 74%? You? A malicious phishing email was sent in. Looked real. Somebody clicked on it. Compromised their credentials. Long story short, the attackers deployed ransomware, destroyed the backup and everything, and then demanded 200 and... Sorry, no, I don't know how much they demanded. Apologies. I'm telling lies. I don't know how much they demanded. It took the Bureau of Standards $231,000 to restore their systems back to what it was before. All right? So that's, how much is that? 2%? 5%? 5%. So you said how much? 20? Let's get closer to you. You heard about this one, right? CIBC in Trinidad happened last year. This was via WhatsApp, where somebody got in the middle of a WhatsApp conversation and impersonated the managing director or the CEO and had a bank transfer authorized for 50%, $2 million US. They've recovered some, but over $1 million gone. You all shake your head. It happens. It happens. So you're doing all this transformation. Now you can authorize things on your phone using WhatsApp. All right? And I'm going to talk to you about how you can secure some of those connections later on. So I want you to understand that the 4.4 million looks like it's way over there. It's closer to home than you think. It's very, very important that you protect your systems. Let's talk about compliance. And this is my last bit. Talk about transformation, talk about protection. Why am I talking? So you know why I talked about transformation? Because I want to see what we can do with the future. I liked what we did today. I'm going to tell everywhere I go now after this, and I'm having this presentation is I'm going to talk about how I entered St. Kitts. You understand? Everywhere I go. Big up on yourself. So you do this transformation, you expand your digital footprint, you need protection. The data breaches are why you need compliance. Do you know why GDPR was created? GDPR is the United Kingdom's data protection. Anybody here knows why it was created? If you know your history, one of the reasons why the Nazis were so good at exterminating Jews is because they used census data to find where they are. That's why the United Kingdom is so paranoid about data protection, and why GDPR has swept across the world. Before we had our Data Privacy Act, if a UK citizen came here and their data was leaked, they would reach across from the UK over to wherever here and slap the crap out of them. Fines, all different kind of things. Because the intention is to protect every citizen. The Data Protection Act protects you as an individual citizen. How many organizations in St. Kitts and Nevis have your data? Who has your biometric data? Well, you have mine. Who has your genetic data? Every time you go to do that lab test that you must do. How many have you done? Huh? I do my executive profile every year. My God, I'm 51 years old. I must have done 30 of them. Where are they? Man, we're probably in that biomedical breach because I use them all the time. Yeah? The Data Protection Act came about to protect the right of individual citizens. Here's a problem I'm having with, here's a challenge, I don't like the P word. Here's a challenge I'm having with this side of the world. Everybody passed a Data Privacy Act. Nobody has implemented it. To implement it, you need a regulator. So Jamaica put a regulator in 2023. Bermuda put a regulator in January of 2025, last year. We've done over 40 data privacy implementations. Take what is an act and make it a program inside your organization. I can give you some ways that even we are breaching your rights right now. Did we get consent from you to collect your image? Or is the consent implied in the invitation? Yeah. So without a regulator, let's say one of you embark on a massive transformation project, and then there's a breach afterwards, and all of our data is exposed. Who's going to hold them responsible? That's what the regulator is for, to reach across and protect you as an individual citizen. You also then get the consent rights. You get the right to say to an organization, I'm no longer doing business with you. Take every bit of information you have about me out of your systems. And they must then prove to you that they did it. Or if they have wrong information about you, you say, please correct that information. If there's been a data breach in Jamaica, you are required by law to report it within 24 hours of finding out to the regulator. You can be fined up to 4% of global annual turnover. Calculate that for your company. If there is a data breach and you have not put in appropriate standards, we're doing all this digitizing. I've commended you multiple times on my excellent experience. Where's my data? How is it protected? I'm not saying that, I'm just asking. Do you know? So it's very, very important. So you see how the three things are connected together. The transformation that drives the need for protection and the compliance to protect you as an individual citizen. Very, very important. And we also do quite a bit of other compliance type work. This is a global, I showed you about cyber. This is a global impact of data protection. A lot of the fines have been to the big names. Meta fined $1.2 billion in Ireland, Europe. They don't play. TikTok fined $390 million, again in Ireland. Tim's fined 7.6 million euros. Right? Let me tell you what it says right here. They collected and used personal data for advertising without getting consent. They collected personal data of underage users. You see, the Data Protection Act, children are in a special class. You don't need, children can't give you consent. They have to get consent from their parents. So they collected personal data of underage users without parental consent. This one had a data breach, didn't notify anybody. Those are just some examples. This one transferred data from the UK to the US. Yeah? Meta. So data privacy and protection. What's driving it? Growth in digital transformation services, cybersecurity breaches, the impact of GDPR. We help you do a program from start to finish. When you have a data privacy program in place and you have a breach, it costs less. You can react to it faster. Cyber attacks are less successful because you have better policies and controls in place, and you can respond quicker. I think I said that already. I think somebody's taking a picture. I paused. Anti-money laundering compliance. If you're in the financial sector, we are the largest provider of anti-money laundering compliance solutions in Jamaica. 5 of the 8 commercial banks use technology that we provide. We're very happy to have been able to get that technology down to a cost price where credit unions and microfinance organizations can use it. So as the regulator has broadened the regulatory landscape, we've been able to offer our customers class-leading solutions to help them combat money laundering, human trafficking, financing of terrorism, etc., etc., etc. And that's a complete SaaS platform, so completely in the cloud. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Trend, because Trend is not here to talk about themselves. So, El Patricia mentioned about Trend. Trend is not just a digital media company. Trend creates delightful customer experiences. You see the delightful experience I had today? At 4 times I talk about it now. That's what people do. When you have a delightful experience, you tell everybody. You know how to drive one Corolla? You must be mad. You understand what happened when you drive a Corolla? Eh? Just change Corolla for whatever you say when you say that statement. Sorry. You're not getting your lashes done by, you're crazy. Ladies, I had to find you, and I apologize for finding you with just lashes. Create delightful customer experiences. So the experience I had today, I want to enter the country. I get a link to click on. I'll click on a link. I go Google it. I find out that there's an app. Take on my iPhone, go into the App Store. I'm comfortable with how Apple manages the App Store. Pulled it down. I was on my roaming data. I wasn't on any network. I was paranoid about which network am I on, because I'm going to put in my passport, my data. It's literally, I stopped and went like, okay, where am I? Oh, turn off Wi-Fi, just to make sure. Turn on VPN. Went through the process. Delightful customer journeys. Similar to that, and I'm looking for many more in government, and the opportunities are just phenomenal. In Jamaica, we can now do, I don't know if you can do it here, we can now do our driver's license. We can do this for years now, our driver's license renewal digitally. They've changed the law, so we no longer need the registration decals on the plate. You can do that digitally now. You can do your registration for multiple years, your fitness for multiple years. When the police pulls you over now, they don't say, show me your documents. They say, your fitness has expired. Here's your electronic ticket. They know because they read the license plate and they're connected to the system that tells them whether your documents are legitimate or not. There's no decal on my car, right? So all of these are, e-land is one of the biggest things, where one of the biggest issues we had in Jamaica was about land fraud. You want to buy somewhere. You know how many people buy places from people who don't own it? So e-land just open it up. You're buying somewhere, come on our website and check. We'll tell you who owns it. Yeah? There's a lot of digital experiences. We have this thing called National Housing Trust, where 2% of my salary goes there, and then it's for low-income housing. You can borrow, and after 7 years, you get refunded. You can't get a refund unless you do it digitally. And of course, if you're in Jamaica or any other country, you want to go to the mighty US of A, and you want an appointment, it must be digital, right? So we want to create delightful experiences while you're having your digital experience. So customers already behave digital. All I need to put on Instagram and TikTok, doing all the things, right? But fraud and compliance pressures are accelerating, and transformation is all over the place. Talked about cyber threats, talked about compliance. Customers are demanding. This is where the Caribbean is very funny. You have all of you have smartphones. You all engage in digital experiences, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Instagram, TikTok, all of those things. But we don't do it for business and for commerce. It's just uneven. Doesn't make any sense. I know people who are on Instagram and that, and then they say, I'm not using an ATM card, and boy, I don't trust it. Okay. So, but customers want digital experiences, and what Trend is able to do is to create different experiences. There's one case study they have which is about frictionless and compliant digital onboarding, where they leverage WhatsApp, use the one-time passwords, allow documents to be submitted. So let's say you're doing a loan process and you want to get all the loan documents. We make sure it's secure. So you register, you get the link, you get a one-time password so you can log in. You send your documentation in, you get your authentication secured, you get your automated reminders when something expires. Back home in Jamaica, the banks actually go directly to the government authority and confirm and just pick up your new driver's license expiration, pick up your new password expiration. You don't need anybody in the bank show people ID. 20 years ago that. The ID is over there, so connect via secure API, pull down the expiration date, update your system. Yeah? So this is one example that Trend is doing. Another one is about fraud confirmation, which is very cool now, which is around when you're doing transactions, and we want to validate that you are the person and that it is your account that you should be doing this transaction from as well. And you can tap to confirm or freeze, so you get an alert. This transaction is taking place. Is that you? You can freeze an account digitally, lock so that you don't lose money. And then another one that they're doing is just around collections. Automated payment reminders. The light and power company ever turn off your light because you forget to pay, even though you don't have the money? Would it be nice if they just send you a reminder? Don't they have your number? Don't they know where you live? You're geolocated. All the meters are digital and well, nowadays they don't have to come and cut off the meters anymore. They just stay centrally. It's a smart meter. Yeah, it would be good for you to get reminders about things because we forget. You're busy doing something. So intelligent digital collections, interactive repayment chats, escalation to a live agent. So if you have a business that has collection issues, these are solutions as well that we've done inside of Trend. So I want to thank you all again for being here. Thank you for being a part of the journey with Digicel business for 20 years. We honestly, truly, if Wenice was here, you know Wenice, right? Wenice is the CEO, but she has 4 markets, right? So she's over in Antigua. But Wenice is from Jamaica, and so Wenice, my sister, right? I wanted to fanboy her if she was here, and I'm a big fan of Wenice. And if she was here, she would tell you thank you for being a part of Digicel business. Thank you for being a part of the journey. Thank you for trusting us to do business with you. Know that you know that we do so much more than just. We'd love for you to engage with your account manager, set up some meetings, let's have some private direct conversations, let's help you. Anything transformation, anything protection, anything compliance, anything to create a delightful experience with your customer or your user or your member, right? And let's help you increase productivity, execute your processes, government, hospitality, whatever segment you work in. Let me tell you one last thing. We have some cameras. If you're in retail, now people think that camera is for security. Foolishness. Security is like watches, right? When you wear an analog watch and all it do is tell time, them days are done. Watch is now a multifunction thing. Yeah? These cameras do the security, but guess what they do? Foot traffic monitoring. Ambient temperature monitoring. So you have a fridge over there, sir, and the temperature is off, the thing going to spoil. This guy on the back is cutting the meat and keep on dropping it on the ground. Quality control. All of these, that's what the cameras that we are providing to our customers are doing now. It's the same way that we have smart, we're into smart in Bermuda and in Trinidad as well. We're about to do electronic speeding tickets in one of the Caribbean islands. That means that we have camera technology that reads the license plate. We've changed the law to make it able for you to get a ticket from an electronic policeman because the law says you have to get a ticket from a physical policeman, right? And we're about to roll out projects like that. But retail experiences, imagine you're a retailer. Tie all of this together for me. Let's say you have a retail store and you have a digital app on the phone, the Digicel phone. And as the person walks into the retail store, they've given you consent to engage and interact with them, the data privacy, right? And they walk into the store and they walk up in front of the TV. And then on their phone goes, boop, 10% off LG 65-inch flat screen TV. You interested? Customers will give consent for reward, right? And then as they walk out the store, it automatically disconnects. If they give them consent, then we're able to say to you, Wednesday night, you're not going to stew peas this week. Pigtail and special. For those of you who don't eat pork, stewed beef. So Digicel business is more than you imagine. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for bearing with me. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your presence, and at Digicel business, we appreciate you. Reach out to your account manager. Grab me, grab Rory, and we are happy to be here. We're going to be in the market a lot more frequently. I'm here for Wendy's, and I'm here for Joel, who's over in the Northwest Indies. These 8 islands have become very dear to my heart, and I want to see us transform and grow. And all the lessons we're learning in Jamaica, where in some cases we're ahead. You're ahead on the visitor thing. Wicked. 5th time that. We want to share with you because we want to grow. We want you to see people who look like you, doing business with you, helping to transform your businesses.
Thank you so much to Marlon for that very insightful presentation. There is going to be a Q&A section, but before we get to that, what we'd like to take the time to do right now is, as a token of our appreciation, we want to present to our ICT customers a complimentary 20 megs upgrade to their DIA service. And for our mobile customers, they're going to get a bonus 20 gigs of data starting in March for your next bill. We also have a raffle that we're going to do right now. So I hope everybody held on to your tickets. And if you did not get a ticket when you came through, if you could just let us know so we can add you. Just put up your hands and we can add you to the raffle. All right. Ashma? So the first three prizes will be a bottle of wine. Yes. So the number is 3394867. Congratulations. All right, next winner. 3394853. Congratulations. Okay, the next number is 3394868. Congratulations. Our next prize is a Samsung tablet. Three three nine 4849. Congratulations to you. Okay, and our last prize for this evening is a Samsung A56. 3394858. Congratulations. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Patricia Richards to do the Q&A session.
Thank you, Sabina. Thank you all for your time so far. We are going to have a question and answer segment. I am more comfortable without a script, so it's going to be flowing quickly. Anything you would have heard tonight, whether it is on Digicel Business Solutions Evolution or specifically on Simtai, we are here to engage you. We're here to understand what some of your needs are. If you need clarification on anything Marlon would have spoken about, we're here to answer also, right? So we're going to have about 15, 20 minutes. It depends on you, the audience, really, how long. Question segment. Any questions? Please don't be shy. I don't like the camera, but okay. If we don't have any questions at this time, let me just engage Marlon a little bit more. Marlon, you all right? You're not in front of a firing squad or anything like that? Okay. Now you indicate we have a question.
So from what I gathered today, Digicel has something called SimTie, right? And so for my organization, if I wanted to use SimTie, this would protect against um, AI information being filtered to AI and also cybersecurity. That's what we're saying.
Well, it's happening right in front of me. Yes, we can help. We can put systems in place, policies, procedures, training to help you protect your data and any cybersecurity concern you have. And if anybody has any technical question, Rory, I'll just ask Rory to answer you directly because he'll be able to talk to you in very technical terms. But yes, at a simple level, we can help you protect your data. We can help to educate your staff, help you put policies, procedures in place. We can help you with cybersecurity. Rory's team will test your apps, your networks, your devices, and make sure that they are resilient. They give you recommendations to fix them, detailed step-by-step recommendations. Come back 30 days later and do a re-verification to confirm that those exposures no longer exist. Yes, among other things.
Let me just add to that, and thank you so very much. One of the good things of Digicel acquisition of SimTie is if you are interested in bolstering the security of your ecosystem, you engage Digicel as your service provider. You are an existing service provider. We then engage SimTie, who is our partner. And as Marlon would have indicated earlier, there are certain separations to ensure that our customers are protected and secure, right? So Digicel will not have any access to, let's say you would like a penetration test. Digicel would not have any access to the results of that penetration test. That's an engagement directly with SimTie. However, you engage SimTie through Digicel. So you request the service, Digicel bills you for the service, but you are secured and you get your information through SimTie. And that is why there is that separation.
So you've spoken a lot about SimTie, the range of services and so on, compliance, et cetera,
Yes.
and the recent acquisition
Yes.
of SimTie by Digicel. But from my own perspective, I'd like to know a bit more about the background of SimTie. How long had you been in existence, or have you been in existence?
Yeah. We're actually older than Digicel. We've been in business since 1998. I was employee number 2. So this is my second job. My first job was at Air Jamaica. I've been at SimTie since 1999. And so I've been here for a minute. Rory has been with me for about 14 years as well. He came across from PwC, I think it was. Yeah, so SimTie was a Jamaican guy named Andrew Simpson. That's a Sim. His wife, Michelle Taylor. That's a tie. They just move some of the words around. And yeah, and they formed a company that started to do data analysis for companies. So back in the day, my day job before I became a CEO, I used to be a data analyst. I get data out of any system and twist it, turn it upside down, tell you where processes are breaking, where you're losing money, different things like that. So it's a homegrown company. The aim of the solution that we showed you there, that's now is run by a Canadian company called Alessa. We built it inside of SimTie, and then we sold it and got it on the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So we've always been technology consultancy with aspirations of playing in a very large space. And so we had the choice, I had the choice of, do I take this company public? Do I find a partner? And I use the partner strategy because I can fly to St. Kitts and come into a room, and my partner has relationships with you locally, understands the culture, and is able to bring you into a room, and then we can share services. So Digicel approached us on November 29, 4 years ago. I remember it because it was very close to my birthday. I was on vacation up in the hills. And they said, we have been looking across the Caribbean for a cybersecurity company, and everywhere we go, we hear Simtai. Nobody knows about us because we're not in the consumer space. But every large bank, every government, conglomerates were using our services because we just built it by a reputation from the ground up since 1998. And they said, they did a survey that said 40% of their customers wanted consultancy services. They want to secure the firewall that they bought. They want to secure the Wi-Fi. They wanted consultancy services, and they approached us and did a two-stage purchase. They bought 51% of the company first, and then they bought the other 49% effective end of March last year. And then we started to integrate. Yeah. So from 1998, from 1998 we started working Light and Power company back in Jamaica, one of the government entities. Matter of fact, the first engagement that we did when we got the check, we didn't have a bank account. It almost stale dated, but that's the experience. And how we do business is we establish deep. You see my personality from me presenting. We establish deep relationships with our customers. And so I have customers that I've been working with for 25 years and just growing with them. And then from that trust, they refer us to their colleagues, and we continue to grow and grow like that. A lot of stuff that we mentioned about the transformation that's taking place in Jamaica through the government, all of those digital services, our teams do some of those pen tests, work in some of those labs that develop these projects. So we've grown to the point where we have those relationships and we're trusted by our customers to work with them highly confidential ways on important things that matter to them. Yeah. I hope that answers. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions or statements? Yes, Ms. Blanchard.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone, and thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you for the presentation. I have a few questions.
A few?
Yes, a few. So first, I must start with Digicel. How are you rebranding with this partnership? How do you rebrand in our St. Kitts and Nevis environment? Because we still see you as mobile connectivity, and especially looking at businesses, government, I think it would be good to look at how do you reapproach us from this setting going forward.
I was expecting that question, but not this early. There will not be a rebranding in the traditional sense of the word. Digicel group of companies has several vertical pillars under which we operate. Digicel Business Solution handles and deals with all of the corporate business related clients. And that is why there's a DB Better Connected, right? Now, we do acknowledge that there has been a little decline in, a decline in our awareness and our push. And you would realize, well, perhaps not you, Miss Ophelia, we've been trying to get you for a while now, but most of the partners here would realize that we have been, for the past 6-7 months, we have been on a drive reintroducing ourselves to our corporate partners and introducing ourselves to potential customers. So right now it's word of mouth, but we are going to be having a very strategic meeting in the next week or so. We are part of the awareness campaign, the marketing campaign, the strategies to get persons on the ground in the various markets fully aware of our suite of services. So that is something that is going to be happening within the next couple of months once the strategies have been ratified by the board. I hope that answered that part of the question. You have others, are they
Yes.
for me or for Marlon?
Yes, I'm going to be bouncing around.
Okay.
This. The next question would be for Marlon. So from the wheel, I noted I have quite a number of services you offer, but I'm not seeing like an enterprise risk management. Is it hidden behind cybersecurity?
No, it's hidden there. It's hidden there under professional services. We do a lot of IT risk consulting, IT risk assessments, things of that nature, IT audits, IT governance review, anything around IT. We do anything around IT, anything around risk. We do quite a bit of that. So like I said, just I have a Rory, I have a Stewart who heads the compliance unit, and he provides those assurance and compliance type services. So like a typical organization asks us to start with an IT general controls review, which just looks at everything, policies, procedures, backup, everything. It's a mile wide and an inch thick. But the idea of it is to touch everything and then identify where there seems to be highest risk. Is it third party? Is it vendor relationship? Is it supply chain if you're in that business? And then we dive deeper into those areas and help to make sure your policies, your processes, your controls, your systems of governance are working to ensure that you can operate to the risk appetite that you want to operate. So yes, it's hidden. There are a bunch of, we've been in business for almost 30 years, so there are so many things, which is why we started doing this transformation, protection, compliance. If we start to list it, it gets exhausting.
Let me just add something. As it pertains to our local connectivity and other services that we offer, we have some our SLAs. They are enterprise level SLAs. They're enterprise grade SLAs. For example, the bread and butter, which is a DIA. Our DIA is backed by enterprise grade, enterprise level SLAs. We have our solutions architect who designs solutions at that level. And that is why we indicated that we are not interested in the transactional arrangement anymore. It's more of a partnership to help you grow. Because once you see we put our brand, the Digicel name, the Digicel business name, now the SimTie, and then you have Trend Media, and then you have Deep Sea. Once you see we put that brand behind it, we stand by it, right? And that is in regards to what does our partners want, what is the best practices for whichever solution you choose to go with.
Okay, so the next question, as you spoke about data sovereignty and the importance of that, one of the services that you offer with subsea connectivity, how do you see leveraging that service to assist St. Kitts and Nevis and other countries to build their data sovereignty?
Yeah, I mean, our subsea connectivity is primarily in the south of the Caribbean. It's on the oil belt, so it connects Guyana, Trinidad, Suriname, and then comes back into Miami and some other places like that. So those drilling companies, the oil and gas companies, Exxon and all those guys, who are, whether they're testing for oil or they're actually extracting barrels, that's how they communicate. They use that technology to communicate back to head office and to share whatever data needs to be shared. How we think about communication on a network is we have a fiber network here, which we've invested in here in St. Kitts specifically, which is always going to be the best network that you're going to be on, the fiber one. Then you're going to have the cellular network on top of it. And then, of course, we are bringing, as I said, we're going to bring satellite as well. So if you operate across that region, you can leverage that the subsea cables because it's a service that we sell, but typically it's bought in these massive blocks by the oil and gas companies. Yeah.
Two more questions for you, if permitted.
Well, I'm going to ask you to hang on to the two of them since you've done three, and just allow other persons who may have just one. And then, time permitting, we're going to be able to come back to you. There is a hand right here. But don't forget your questions, and if I can't get it here, feel free to grab me afterwards. Claude, what are you showing her?
So, Philly, I hope I don't steal
Claude.
any one of yours that you have packed away. But
Great. Sorry.
wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
I see Digicel business more of providing that solution to, I would say, larger corporates. What do you have in your backpack for small businesses and medium size?
Oh, no, all the services that we provide today, we provide. So, for example, when we started doing data privacy compliance in Jamaica, we'd go to a large company and they'd pay us 150,000 US dollars to do a data privacy program. The largest companies, right? So people eyes perk up. Then as we started to come down the line, we had to transform the service, and we created what's called a data protection officer as a service, where over the course of a year, we turned it into a subscription service. And now we have companies that pay us $400 to do data privacy because they only have 5 people. We have a company that has 2, we have a client that has 2 employees. If we hadn't transformed the service to be able to break it into month by month by month by month programmatic elements, then we wouldn't have been able to do that. The security awareness training, that platform that we sell, if you have 5 or more employees, I think it costs you, I'm going to be telling lies here, it must be less than $5 per employee per month for security awareness training. The dark web monitoring is going to cost you anywhere from $80 a month. We have services that, and if you do a pen test with us and you have solutions with Digicel, we'll calculate a one-off cost for the pen test and we'll bundle it into your existing service. So we'll do the test in a week, but it'll just become a part of your bundle over the course of the year. So we found ways to make sure, because as I told you, niche is a little being a company on the side of the road. They need cybersecurity too, just like the big banks. So yeah, we have a bunch of services that we've been able to expand our customer footprint in this year, especially. Yeah, we found creative ways to do it because we partner with Digicel, so they can help us manage cash flow, right? Any more questions?
Okay, thank you. So you had spoken about data center.
Data center, yes.
Centers. You have a number of data centers in the area.
Yeah.
Now we are seeing the onset of AI supercomputer. How do you see that transforming the business of establishing data centers, more data centers, to a point where you actually would have a mini data center within your own space?
Technology is so interesting. I was talking to somebody yesterday. They were talking to us about how China is, years ago when they thought about running these massive data centers and the equipment would fill this room, but because of technology and what they've been able to do with chips and computing power, etc., they've compressed it down to these small things that can probably hold in these 2 chairs, and how they are, but because they're so power intensive, how they are running those boxes under the sea in China for cooling purposes, because if they go deep enough, they get natural cooling from the water. So they've made the whole thing small enough, made it waterproof. Now, on our side of the world, we don't have the military might to secure things like that, but there are different things that happen even here. Your central bank has a bunker. There are different ways to containerize and store things to make sure that it's hurricane resilient, it's earthquake resilient. And so we're looking at all of those options. We have 8 Tier 3 data centers. We're going to build one in St. Lucia. And the idea for us around data sovereignty especially is for cloud and backup, we're exploring offerings that come from the UK. So if we have a data center that's sovereign, that's local, that you put a private cloud in and you're using for your backup technology that's coming from the UK, then it becomes GDPR compliant. As an example, if you have no problem being in North America, then that's a different case, right? So those are different ways that we're thinking about where do we put our nodes for cloud services, how do we put them in. For smaller businesses, how do we make this accessible to you? So we need to make it multi-tenanted so that one node can be shared with multiple organizations, but separated logically, securely, privately, so you can benefit from the same shared infrastructure as well. So there are lots of things that are happening. Our financial year starts in April. We're going off the strategic planning because we're a part of the management team of Digicel Business, and there's going to be a lot more that's coming out very quickly within the quarter that starts in April. That's going to see a lot more about what we're doing and our capabilities, and you'll see a lot more about us in the paper than you're used to seeing Digicel big splash. We went through a change of ownership, which helped to strengthen our finances, and as a consequence of that, we have stronger, different compliance engagement processes, which is why you don't see us in all of the hype stuff that we used to be in. You're going to see us more like this, talking directly to customers, but we're going to supplement it with a lot more PR and a lot more marketing as well. We're going to redo the Digicel Business website because it doesn't look like this, right? All of that is going to be happening, but we're going to be engaging with you directly in your vertical around solutions that we've already done that works for you. That's all. This is going to be our preferred way of communicating, and this is going to be our preferred one-to-one and like this, private, intimate. But we're going to do better digitally.
Thank you, Ophelia. I just want to point out to you that we have some display signs with QR codes around. If you want to get a little extra information about SimTi, you're free to scan those QR codes. There's also a form if you would like a one-on-one engagement with SimTi. Unfortunately, Rory and Marlon will be leaving us physically tomorrow, but we are, okay, there you have it. He's only a phone call and a flight away. And additionally, we do have virtual engagement with your team. So if you would like to reach out to us, we can do that, right? I am seeing within the room some retail, oil and gases, finance, wholesale, hospitality persons, and I have not heard any questions from those segments as yet. I've heard from finance, I've heard from government, but we do have some trading companies, we do have some hospitality companies, we do have some oil and gases companies here. Was there anything that Marlon would have said that impacted you or resonated with you and you would like to get a little bit more information? If you're shy, like me, camera shy. Yes, I'm shy. You can grab Marlon.
The guys are giving us the wrap-up so we can start to entertain and mingle some more. So.
Okay, thank you so much. Without any further ado, I'm going to call on the newly installed Digicel Business Account Manager, Mr. Kieran Williams, to give the thanks for us. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Please permit me to adopt the protocol already established. My name is Kieran, and I am the new business sales executive for St. Kitts and Nevis. For those of you who engage with us, I will be your new account manager. I see some faces in here tonight that are familiar, and it is genuinely really good to see you guys again. For those of you who have not yet had the chance to meet, I'm looking forward to being officially introduced to you tonight. As we bring this evening to a close, we extend our sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us as we commemorate 20 years of partnership, collaboration, and shared progress. Your presence here tonight is a testament to the strength of the relationship we have built and the mutual commitment that continues to drive our success. We would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to our speakers for their insightful and forward-thinking contributions. The perspectives shared this evening on innovation, network advancements, cybersecurity, and customer experience not only highlighted how far we've come, but also clearly outline the opportunities ahead. A very special thank you goes out to our distinguished guest speaker, Mr. Marlon Cooper, CEO of Simtai, for delivering such a compelling and thought-provoking address. Your insights into leadership, technology, and the evolving digital landscape added tremendous value to this evening's discussions and inspired us to think even more boldly about the future. We also extend our sincere thanks to Kai and Jet Lounge for graciously hosting us and for providing excellent catering and hospitality. The ambiance and service have truly enhanced this celebration and created the perfect environment for meaningful dialogue and connection. Most importantly, we thank you, our partners and stakeholders, for your continued trust and engagement. Your questions, conversations, and collaboration reaffirm why partnership remains at the core of everything that we do. This 20-year milestone is not only a celebration of our history, but a foundation for the innovation and growth we will continue to build together. As we formally conclude, we invite you to stay and continue the conversations during our networking session. This is an opportunity to connect more personally, exchange ideas, and explore new opportunities, and strengthen the relationships that power everything that we have discussed tonight. Thank you once again for being part of our journey. Have a wonderful evening. You can feel free to go ahead and have some of the refreshments and food that we have prepared for you. So, by all means.